Good morning and welcome to Tuesday the 16th of November, and just a short intro into this week's vlog. I'm aiming to try and shorten. It's very difficult when you're used to doing long vlogs. I'm going to try and shorten these down to possibly maybe 20-25 minutes. Let me know in the comments below if you think that is better for you, because I know when there's sort of like 55 and 1 hour 10, it's a mammoth watch to expect anybody to sit and watch the whole thing. And as it's now winter time, there's less for me to do, so there's less for me to film, and I'm not going to go out and just film anything just to fill up 50 some minutes. So this week, two little things that I'm just covering in the vlog. Main things is my radiator in the bedroom cupboard that was leaking. I'm tackling that, and I've decided to start getting more upgraded with my Wi-Fi. We do have Wi-Fi on the marina that you can, I think you hire or you buy a modem and you put it in your boat, and there's a wire goes to a port on your pontoon, and then you can have different packages, like I suppose you can with all providers, and it's something like £20-25 a month starting range, and it goes up depending on what you actually want. My thinking is that I need to understand, and I don't understand Wi-Fi, flipping internet, etc. I'm forever on the phone to my daughter saying, why is this not uploading and why is that not happening, and she's 30-40 miles away trying to help me over the phone. So it doesn't help that I've got an antiquated router and a bit of what looks like a bit of an old coat hanger for an aerial. So I'm going to show you my first steps on changing my Wi-Fi on board, and just tell you my ideas and thoughts about improving on the router that I've already got. So without any further ado, let me show you the Wi-Fi I've got. Enjoy the vlog. Please remember, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and always feel free to put the comments below. I'll always reply. Enjoy the vlog. Well, good afternoon. It's Thursday the 11th of October. Been out this morning with Misty. She doesn't seem very bright today, so she's having a sleep. So while she was resting, I decided I was going to go and get the things I need for when I change this radiator. This is on John's advice, and so I went to B&Q. It's Sinfin, and I'm not having a go at B&Q, but it's a massive place. Most B&Q supercentres are, and I needed a 3/4 spanner for a radiator so you can fit the tails, which I'll show you in a bit. And they had a spanner very similar to that. Well, it was identical to the actual spanner, the packaging was different, and it said on it 1/2 inch. Now I remember John said I need a 3/4, so I went and asked one of the sales assistants. I says, is there a 3/4 version of this? And she says she went on the website, which is what I'd got on my phone. And she said, we only do that one. I said, well, will that do the tail on a normal radiator? And she said, no idea. She said, but if you go to the tool centre part, the trade part, the lads there will know. So I thought that's fair enough. So I popped in, and what did they do? They looked on the website. They said, we only do this one. And I said, well, will it do? And the guy goes, I've no idea. It's just 1/2 inch. And then I asked them if they'd got a tube of sealant, and they took me down to a shelf where they've got 1 kilo tubs, and I said, I'm only doing one radiator, don't need that much. So that was a blank. So I decided there must be a Wicks. Now I know we've got a small Wicks at Sutton in Ashfield where I used to live and I work, and I've never been let down by them. So I googled where the closest Wicks was, and it was only 2 miles from B&Q at Alveston. So I popped there. I got the tube of sealant, a size that's handy. I can put that in one of my jars and store it for whenever I might need it in the future. Same spanner to look at, but on the back of the packaging it clearly tells you why it can fit 3 different, and how it fits 3 different tails and valves on radiators. Brilliant. So I now know that this is the right tool. And I got a 500ml bottle of inhibitor, so it's a rust inhibitor for the cooling system. It does up to 10 radiators, and it's basically just to stop everything rusting up, as the name suggests. And I will have to top all the radiator system up through the header tank, because obviously I've blanked off the radiator that was leaking, but all the water that was in it I've now drained off. So I'm going to just show you me undoing this brand new radiator, and then I'm going to go and try and salvage the bits I do need to salvage off the old one. Now, I've never done this before, so don't start criticising me because I might be getting it wrong. John came last night, and I bought this because on my radiator, this bit was solid and it looked like it had been put on with cement. I now know that it had been put on with sealant. And John is actually, bless him, he's put me some PTFE tape on. And to me, I thought, crikey, that's a lot of, can you see that? That's a lot of tape. And he says, don't be frightened, put lots of tape on. Now, I'm actually only going to use this bit, and I'm going to keep this as a spare, because that bit is connected to the pipe that goes into the floor, and what I don't want to do is get a situation where I start having to take that off, and then I've got to drain all the system. So let's see what's in this new radiator packaging, and hopefully I might even get it fitted today. Right, so today's task is to remove this radiator that's been leaking. I showed you in last week's vlog, a little pinhole that end. Having never done this before, it's quite scary, so I'm going to try and set you up on a camera and just go through it step by step, and hopefully we're not going to end up with a major problem. So what I'm doing, I'm putting the mole grips on this part of the pipe. This is the nut I'm going to undo, and I'm just holding this so it takes a little bit of the pressure when I'm pulling down, or pulling down on these grips. Okay. Am I expecting some dirty water out of here? The actual water so far is coming out, it's clean, but you usually find you've got sludgy water in the bottom. I'll drain it into this bucket, tip it into my big bucket, and then have a go under the other end. It's scary because I don't want to end up getting a water leak out the main system. I need to empty it obviously to get the radiator off the wall, and I think this part of the pipe's got to go into my new radiator. I think that's added as an extender to make this joint hit that pipe where it is, because I'm sure it wouldn't be normally on a radiator. It isn't one on the other end. So if the pictures are flashing, it's because I've got my headlight on. I'm sorry about that. It's going to be a bit of leakage over the side of this bowl, but nothing to worry about. This is definitely cold water, so it's, I know it's not connected to the system. Right, I'll let this end drain, and then we'll go and undo the other end. And it'll just be a case of lifting it off the wall and tipping any excess water into a receptacle. And then I'm going to have to remove that to get it onto the new radiator, I assume. I'm just hoping now that when I've measured it, I've measured everything accurately. Now the reason I did the left hand side, unloosened that first, is because that's more towards the stern, and as the boat's got a slight tip on it, as it will do with the engine being at the back, it drains most of the water off that end. So now we'll try and get in here and do exactly the same on this end, just stabilising the pipe using this wrench grip. And this time I've got to go, if I remember rightly, from what I've been watching, I push away. Now, I'm not too sure how this video is going to turn out because I'm actually recording today on my Canon camera. I've been getting such hassle trying to get the videos off my iPhone 11 onto my Windows photo file, and some weeks it's taken up to 3 hours and it shouldn't, and at the moment nobody seems to have the answer as to why. So if you're one of these people who are very clever with all these things and you do know, shout out, because it's becoming a nightmare. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to video everything on the camera, and that goes, obviously take the SD card out and put it in a card reader, because I did in the early days do everything on the, this camera, and it videoed and loaded very quickly. So in this bag, I've just chucked it there, in this bag we've got a blanking end to the radiator, and we've got a bleed, and then we've got some screws and plugs for the wall. I'm hoping the original brackets will fit, and then we've got these little, I don't know if you can actually see them, they're like anti-rattle slips. You slip them onto the brackets and it just stops your radiator making a racket when it warms up. I actually sound like I know what I'm talking about, but a lot of it is what I've just seen on Google and YouTube. So let's see how we go on. Now I might have to just take this off of here a minute just to get the packaging off. I think one of the problems I'm going to have to do this, spin you around a bit, I'll keep moving you, is the fact that the radiators are quite heavy. I don't know what that's for. So look on the instructions. I think that's the brackets just fell on the floor. Yep. Well, hopefully this radiator will fit directly where the old one was, or is at the moment. That's my hope. So I need that tail that John's already put the tape on is going at this end, and above it there I've got the valve to put in, and then on this end I have to remove that and put the blank in, and I remove that and put the tail of the old radiator in there. So I'm going to go and get myself a screwdriver and see how the instructions read about the what these black things are. I really don't know what they're there for, whether just to protect it in transit, I don't really know, but we'll find out. Come back to you in a minute. Well, I still haven't figured out what these black things are for yet. I'm sure they can't be needed, then we're going to have to come off. So I've got a screwdriver to take these blanks out, so I can take all 4 out, because obviously they're not required. That one doesn't want to come out, so I'm going to have to use a spanner. It's quite daunting if you've never done one before. Really, I need a bigger bigger screwdriver or a ratchet spanner. Bear with me a sec. Trusty pair of adjustables makes life so much easier. Definitely does. Gets them out without doing any damage. Well, that one's fell off, so we know they're not very important because they just fell out. So hopefully the others will come out as easy. Right, that's took all the transit blanking plugs out, which I'm assuming, as I say, they're only there for the transportation. It's allowed to be right or it'll be wrong. Now, in here we should have that's my bleed valve. And there's my blanking plug. So what does it say? It doesn't tell you. It doesn't tell you. So I'm guessing I'm just having to guess that that's I'm going to put that in with a bit of sealant around it, I think. That's in my opinion, it isn't anyway. Right, so what's the one in the top? That. We'll just nip that up without over tightening it, because I remember John saying it's got a rubber seal. And you don't want to go daft and ruin the seal. So that's the blanking plug there, installed, because I want the bleed to go on the right hand side, simply because the right hand side is going to be higher. With it being on a boat, it's pointing towards the front, and obviously the front of the boat is higher than the back, so the air in the radiator will naturally go to the right. That's my thinking, and hopefully it's the right thing to be thinking. If John's watching this, he'll be cringing. He'll be saying, "Oh my god, I wish I'd done it now." What's this guy on with? Right. Just gonna get some other tools. This is why you need that radiator spanner, because there's a hole in the middle that this hexagon fits into. So that's how you actually tighten it on. Well, I'll tell you one thing, John, you was right about the tape. It doesn't get in the way. It does what it's supposed to do, I suppose, and that's seal everything. Right, I'm now going to go and try and remove the other radiator and bring it in here so I can get the other bits off of that. Now, I hope you can. It's focusing on this, whether it is or not. I've took this tail out the left-hand bottom corner of the original rad. I'm just now going to try and roughen it up to get the rest of this old tape off, and then I'll retape it and get it into the new radiator. Now, I've just offered the two radiators back to back, and it looks, I'm not tempting fate, but it does look like the brackets on the new radiator are exactly in the same place as that on the old radiator. And if that's the case, then hopefully it shouldn't be such a difficult fit, because I haven't got to measure up to place brackets on the wall because they're already there. It's more of a case of making sure I get everything sealed, and I've got to remember I've got to turn the water pump off on the central heating when I come to bleed. Right, that's that cleared. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to go and get some tape, and I've got to give this a heck of a good wind, and then we'll get it fitted in the new radiator. Right, so I've got my PTFE tape. I read somewhere if you've got the item in your left hand, you put the tape on clockwise. So I hope I'm doing justice to you, John. I'm doing this right, because it will help seal it. And the last thing I want to do is get it all put back together, turn the valves open so the water goes into the radiator, and have loads of water running out of these threaded areas. I think that'll do it, John. Oh, don't want to do that. Right, let's tilt the radiator up and get this one fitted. I apologise for the flashing, that's because I've got my head torch on. So, as I guessed and I'm hoped, the radiator's just dropped straight back on the original brackets, and I've tightened both the joints up on each end. So I'm now going to remove the header tank lid, get myself a large jug of water, turn the central heating pump off, and start topping this up and open the radiator, see if we've got any leaks. Fingers crossed, I'll come back to you. Well, I'm glad I've got that out of the way. It's been bothering me for quite a while, actually attempting to fit this radiator, and you know, there'll be people watching this who'll go, well, it's just an easy thing to do, and to be fair, well, relatively it is, but not if you ain't got a clue what you're doing and you've never done it before. And I didn't know that I needed a radiator spanner until John told me last night. So again, you see, I would have started a job and then realised halfway through I couldn't have finished it. But I was very fortunate that the radiator I took out that was leaking on the front of it was a perfect match for the one that I'd bought. By that I mean that the brackets on the back that you mount it onto the brackets that's on the wall were in exactly the same place. So I didn't have to go through all the drama of figuring out where the brackets was to fit. The radiator literally, once I put all the blanking plugs and the bottom tails in place and the bleed valve in place, I could just literally just pick it up and drop it into the original brackets. Tightening up the joints is always a bit scary because, as I say, the pipes coming out the floor at each end of the radiator are just plastic pipes that are compression fitted into another plastic joint, and you just think, as you're starting to tighten nuts up, valves are moving towards you, so you've just got to have the confidence to put a spanner on the valve and push it away from you while you're tightening the nut towards you, and therefore you're keeping everything, you know, in line. So I'm going to have my tea now, and I'm feeling dead chuffed that I've got it sorted. So when I moved on to Freedom, Jeff, when he was showing me the boat, showed me that he had what a lot of boaters have, these little Huawei, what do they call them? Huawei mobile modem receivers, whatever they are, plugs into your USB, and a lot of people stick them in the window. Jeff had his under the kitchen cupboards here on the side. So I thought, well, I'll go along with that, and I bought one. And within a matter of weeks, it became so apparent that to do anything on the connection was slow, and I mean really slow. And so I decided to take it up a step. I signed up for a Smarty SIM card. It's £10, I think, per month, which, to be fair, is nothing. And I'm going to show you. I'm going to spin you around. I'm always spinning you around. I bought. Let me show you. I bought this boy here. If you can just see him sitting there. Look, I'm pointing at it. Can you see him? Yes, you can. And this is Hawaii. It's not Hawaii. It's is it Hawaii? Oh, I don't know how you pronounce it. Anyway, it's a B311, which in today's terms is a steam driven modem, whatever you call it. So I'm now looking to upgrade that, but the other night on Mercia Marketplace, one of my fellow boaters put up for sale a magnetic pole with a omnidirectional antenna on it, which had got two cables coming down for the aerials on the back. Well, the B311 router, that's the word I was looking for earlier, router, has only got a single aerial socket, but they did provide me with a T-bar connector. So you could put the two aerial wires to it, and the single block then goes into the back of this B311. And I'll show you the aerial that came with this B311 when I bought it, and I didn't pay much for it, so I can't really grumble. But the times, the speeds on it was something like, I don't know, on a good day, maybe 6-7 on each download upload. It was not brilliant. But when I show you the aerial, that makes a lot of sense. But anyway, so as soon as I put the omnidirectional aerial on the roof, and I brought the cables in through the kitchen window and struggled to get the T-bar to fit because there's not a lot of space for the ends to tighten them up in the way that it's designed in the back. Because to be fair, the later routers have two outlets for the aerials. So you're actually bolting your female connectors straight onto the males at the back. Now mine, obviously, I've got a single, so I've put the T-bar into that one, and then the two branches were very close to the back of the router, so getting the wires on, nightmare. Eventually got them on. Did a speed check the other night when I got the aerial temporarily when I want it on the roof, and it was in the 20s, 23s, 24s. So that made one heck of a difference. But now I'm looking to go up to the B535, which is category 7, which means it's like, I suppose this is a Morris 1000, and the B535 is an E-type Jaguar. You know, I don't profess to know anything about Wi-Fi, but what I have read and the reviews I've looked at and the advice from fellow boaters on the marina is that the 535 is going to be a lot faster speeds. So I'm just going to take you on the roof. I'll show you the Mickey Mouse aerial that's up there because I've got to cut that off. That came with this 311. And as I say, my plan for the future is to buy the 535 in the next few days to the next couple of weeks. And then I'm going to do, before I connect it, I'm going to film the speed test with the 311. And then I'm going to put the aerial connectors into the back of the 535 and do the speed tests again. But I'm going to do 3, one after the other, on each. And then I'll take the average and we'll see just how faster, much faster, the 535 is. So let's go on the roof and I'll show you my Mickey Mouse aerial. Well, that is the aerial that came with the 311 router. And it was one of them, I'll just temporarily fit it to the handrail, and I never got round to shifting it. And you can see now why the speeds were really crap, because it's just a bit of wire really, isn't it? You know, there's nothing much to it. And again, I'm going to just lift you up and show you. This is the pole, magnetic pole, with the omnidirectional aerial. I think I should tell you on the back. I'm guessing. There you are for all you techno freaks. That tells you it's an AXPOL 0001, and coupling that with a very slow old 311 router has made one heck of a difference. Now, right, so it's a bit warmer in here than it is sitting up on the roof talking to you. So my intentions is to get the 535 router. I'm going to do the speed checks between the 311 and the 535, and then I'll route the cables from that antenna down through the into the boat properly. At the moment they're just temporarily slung over the top of the boat. What I aim to do is when I go out on the water, I'm going to see if I can get some extender lengths to this aerial antenna wire, so that I can put the magnetic pole on the front of the boat, because the height of the antenna then will only be the same as the roof. So it's not going to be perfect. I can always stick it on the roof if I'm moored up, but I'm thinking at least while I'm out I should get some strength of signal, even though it's right at the very front of the boat, because the cracked cover will be down because it obscures my sight when I look over the roof. So I'm going to always cruise with it down, and I'm thinking if I can just get some extender cables to add to this antenna, then I can just drop it down on the front of the boat, and hopefully that 535 will still give me enough speed to make it worthwhile keeping the Wi-Fi on while I'm out cruising. So next point of call with the Wi-Fi is buy Hawaii, whatever it's called, B535. So if you've got any views on that, if you've got one, any hints, advice, please leave them in the comments below, and I'd gladly appreciate what you have to tell me. That's it. Now I'm getting ready for a cider. Good afternoon and welcome to Wednesday the 17th of November. This is just I wasn't going to do this, well I hadn't planned to do this, that's what I meant to say, but I just want to give a shout out to Tracy Moorcroft and her husband. What a lovely couple. They've travelled to the marina today to bring me a bag full of these boys, DVDs. I'd mentioned some time ago that I was going to put together a collection of all sorts of DVDs for when I go out on the water. If I get moored up somewhere where I get no TV signal, I'm not bothered because I've got a DVD player in the bedroom, I've got one in the saloon, so I can indulge myself with DVDs. And they've gone to the trouble of not only bagging them up and bringing them to the marina, they met me in the marina cafe, which I must confess I've been here 20 months, it's the first time I've even been in the cafe, and they bought me a coffee. Do you know, it never fails to amaze me how many absolutely fantastic people there are out there. Lovely, lovely couple, stayed for about an hour on board Freedom, chatting about all sorts, and showed them a quick show around the marina best I could. And I've now got to get my laundry into dryer because it's been sat at washing machine for a couple of hours now waiting. And I just thought I just wanted to say thank you to them both. It's lovely. It really is genuinely lovely, and I'm touched by the fact that they've gone to the trouble. And bless you both, and thanks. I've enjoyed talking to you today. Just wanted to share that with you all. Cider of the week. Well, this is the end of vlog 70. Already 70 and achieved. And just before I kick into cider of the week, you'll have seen, hopefully I managed to cut it in before this, a mention to Tracy Moorcroft and her husband for bringing the DVDs across, which I thought was fantastic. Just an update, one or two people have been asking through the social media, how's Misty going on with her diet? Well, I'm sorry to report, she's been on it now 12 weeks. She's been totally kibble, as in biscuit free, treat free, and a very, very strict program of a diet. And she weighs, before we started this 12 weeks ago, 36.4 kilos. And I've weighed her every 4 weeks. So last Saturday, the one that's just gone, was her third weigh-in, and she now weighs 36.4 kilos. So she's exactly the same weight. Now, funny enough, I've just been down to the laundrette to put some washing in the dryer there, and a lady's just stopped me and said to me, have you got a different dog? And I said, do you know, you're the third person that's asked me that in the last couple of weeks. And I said, no, it's still the same dog. Oh, she looks different. And that's weird because she obviously isn't any lighter. So I'm only assuming that originally it was more fat on her, but due to the exercise and the better diet, it's now, as one of the pet shop nutritionists tells me, it's muscle mass. I don't know. But the bottom line is she's still 36.4 kilos, fit as a flea, so I don't know. Those who are very sharp-eyed amongst you will notice that I'm sitting with the cushions around me and the throw that Misty normally sits on at that end of the sofa. After 20 months of constantly telling her this is my bit of the sofa, I admitted defeat yesterday and decided to put her throw on my bit because she seems to want to be on this bit. So I have to admit she's won me on that one. So this week's, what's it been like? Well, I've done the bathroom radiator. Dead chuffed with myself. Never done a radiator in my life. The reason I keep looking left to right, I'm filming this on two different things. I'm filming it on my iPhone 11, that's you. And I'm filming it on my Canon G1X, that's you. Some of the video earlier in this vlog was shot on the Canon, and I noticed it didn't seem to want to, if I moved in and out, as I'm doing now, it kept going out of focus. It didn't match. And after I shot it last night, I was looking on the camera, looking on Google, famous Google, and to be honest with you, I couldn't make head or tail on it. But I realised it wasn't set on face recognition. So I've changed the setting, and I'm just wanting to see which of these two videos comes out better. So if it's you, it's because I'm shooting on the Canon, and if it's you, it's because I'm shooting it on the iPhone, and then we'll see which is the better one. You won't, because I'm only going to put one on. So yes, I got the radiator sorted, very happy with that. Nice warm shirt cupboard now, so all my working, well, the t-shirts and jeans that I wear on the boat are all in the cupboard where the radiator is, so they're always nice and warm and aired. And as you can see, I'm now upgrading the Wi-Fi system. The Huawei B5. Oh, I can't get a sensible name. Huawei. The B535 router should be arriving on this Saturday. So while you're watching this, it should be arriving. And I'm going to do some speed tests on that and on the B311, which is a moment coupled up to the omnidirectional aerial antenna that's on the roof. So we'll just see if the 535 does improve my Wi-Fi situation. So I haven't got Polly with me this week, so I'm doing Cider of the Week on my own. And this week I've just nipped to the co-op because I just realised I haven't got anything. And this week we've got Hogan's Fresh and Fierce Killer Sharp Sour Cider. So I'll show it to you like that, look. And I'll show it to you. See, I reckon that's not in focus. I can't tell when I'm just looking at you. We'll see. So we've got a 500ml bottle, £2.20. It's one of the dearest bottles I've bought. And where is it? It's 5.8%. So it just says on it, it's a traditional cider with an extra kick. So let's see. As we say every week, let's crack it open. Oh, that smells like a traditional cider. Just quickly mention the reason, not only is it because of the focusing on the earlier part of the vlog when I was unboxing the radiator that I'm doing this two films at the same time. It's because, as I mentioned earlier, I'm having major issues uploading the videos off of you, the iPhone, but off of you on a camera card, on as quick as that, they're on. But on you, they're taking forever. Up to 3 hours to put 20, 30 short videos on, which then I obviously edit into the one vlog. So that hopefully makes a bit of sense why I'm trying to do the two at the same time. Fresh and Fierce. That does genuinely smell like what you'd imagine a cider smells like, you know. Some of the fruit ciders are very sweet in the smell, and they tend to taste of the berry or the lime or the lemon, whatever they've added to it. You see, colour-wise, to me, that is a proper cider colour. You know, it's that light sandy golden syrupy colour. Oh, Cheekers. Wow. I don't even know where to begin. I'll have another taste. Oh, I don't think I like this. It might be one of them ciders that grows on you, you know? It's not. I don't know what it is. Definitely sour. Definitely sharp. A bit metallic-y. I think that might be the dryness. I had this with the cider last week. I think when it's a drier cider, no, not last week, the week before, it's a bit drier cider. It tastes, to me, it just tastes a bit metallic-y. You don't shudder so much after about 3 mouthfuls, but I don't think I'd want to go out and buy this again. I really don't. I think it's made or bottled in Warwickshire, and it's not nice. Well, for me, it's not nice. It looks the part. It smells flipping gorgeous. Nah. Like that, I'm afraid, is going down the sink. That's the worst £2.20 I've spent on a bottle of cider since I've been doing cider of the week. Sorry guys, whoever it is who makes this, Hogan's. And it does warn you on the bottle that it says it's killer sharp sour cider. And I just try to imagine why anybody would buy a bottle of that, sit at home or in a pub, and go, wow, that's flipping lovely. That to me is horrible. And for me, I'm going to rank that as a 4. I definitely wouldn't buy it again. And just while I'm talking to you, you can't see her, but you can see her. She's now gone and got on what was her bit, which is now officially the shortest part of the sofa, which is my bit. And this is what I'm up against when your dog rules your life for you. I won't advise you to rush out and buy this. If you see one in the shop and you've got £2.20 to waste, to spend, buy a bottle and just tell me what you think, because I can't see anybody drinking a tankard of this and thinking it tastes lovely. I really can't. It's not even a nice cidery taste in it. So if it had been a nice cider that's a little bit sharp, a little bit sour, maybe. But no, definitely not. That one is going down the sink. So that's me done for this the 70th vlog. And only remains for me to say thank you for watching. I have tried to shorten this vlog down, so I've cut out a lot of the waffle and all the vlog as I'm editing it to try and shorten it. Do leave some comments. Let me know if you prefer them when they're shorter. And please subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. Put some comments in the box below. I'd love to hear from you. And I will talk to you next week. But from Misty and Me, I ain't even going to drink it. Cheers. Cheers.